Dripping from the... No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, the machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. I feel like a 9/11, folks. Matte back, looking clean. Dead presents in and I'm alone. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
Over here, empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my Chris, when you do what I tell you, get over here. He's gonna get this.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's get it.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
36 power.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at
all. Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
14.
Play action. Now Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
He finds his man, Baldwin. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
A big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This throw caught right around the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll try to run with Carson. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory?
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Trey Madden, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. J.J. Nelson now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at about the 32. A first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal. And I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll run with Marshall. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And he slings one that's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
He gets it to Brown. Complete. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post-route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks to go back to work and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st down, Wilson. He hits West underneath. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Wilson on second down. Baldwin with it over the middle. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to throw up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Go 14. Hey.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. J.D. McKissick, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Raiders. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Going up top. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play caller, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Bryant. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Martavis Bryant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
6:37.
On play action, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Go, go. Get set, get set.
Carr now on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete as well. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half. No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers. Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Hey, hey. Yes,
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 14.
Wilson, 19.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Bryant with a catch right side. 23 yards on the play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And now Sebastian Janikowski on from a long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Here comes Nelson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, here's Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And always He's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Now he's forced out left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
14.
Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. They still can't get it. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
29.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Carr will try it again on 2nd down. Caught left side, Williams. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And here's Marshall. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From midfield, here's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because I nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, They're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Raiders on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
6-18.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Gotta go. There. 14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Out left side here to Bryant. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Gotta go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offenses.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Nelson. And a very nice return up to the 35, but was it aided by something illegal? Let's find out. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Carr on the bootleg. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Hard throw, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Bryant. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
14.
Now Wilson on second down. Looking here for Smith downfield. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Torrey Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Nelson. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start on the ground with Lynch, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Marshall. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Right back to him on first down. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position. And
he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Get set. 7:34.
From the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete on the deep ball. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. And it is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Move fatigue.
3-on-3. Motion.
Hey.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Move fatigue. Gun.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Bryant has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. This is Carson. A nice little juke. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
I know you felt that one. Hey. 18.
To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Coverage there by Dexter McDonald.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Gotta go. Gun.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Gotta go.
On 1st down, Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
14. Gun.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game, and Brown's got it for an Oakland touchdown. Antonio Brown. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well, and almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Wilson wants to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
3 down. Gotta go.
Wilson now on third down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And look who, the former Seahawk first-round pick, Bruce Irvin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Carr now on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught. A big play that time for the Raiders. And even 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what...
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Well, a little drama